we finally have the banner details for version 4.6's Arlecchino and Lyney banners. And of course, I'm barking because I am just so happy for Arlecchino to finally be out. But as somebody who might be looking at this from a, bias standpoint, I'm trying to think of ways to go outside of the bias spectrum and look at these banner details, because in all honesty, y'all, I don't know. It's tough to say. But before we get into that, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. Would love to hear all y'all's opinions on this. And don't forget, I'm sponsored by the ever wonderful Gamer Subs. Make sure to use code TYSTRA for 10% off. As of this recording and as of the release, we are going to be having a Numi release, which if you don't know who Numi is, she is a fantastic VTuber. That will be happening at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So just make sure that you're on and ready to go in a couple hours, and you will be able to get yourself some Numi merch if you are a Numi VTuber fan. Sorry for the pauses. I'm trying to think of a way to word it. I gotta sell this to y'all, right? Gamer Subs, gluten-free, keto-friendly energy, fantastic for you. So anyways, without any further delay and enough shilling, let's go ahead and talk about the Arlecchino banner. Now, the 4 stars that were announced were Lynette, Fremine, and Zhengling. I'm going to try and keep it very, very brief with them because, again, not a lot to say. So first things first, Zhengling. The fact that Zhengling is on another banner, and she's been out since the beginning, there is nothing wrong with Zhengling. If you are a new player to Genshin Impact, Zhengling is going to be great for your Arlecchino as giving, more pyro damage for the off-field. However, do I think it's going to be necessary, especially if you're going to want somebody who's off-field helping with reactions? She's probably not going to be that character that you want for reactions, but I will say she is a great off-fielder in general to help with damage. She's great with other DPSs of other, elements like Electro and, all that stuff, but otherwise, for me, I don't think that Zhengling was the go-to play here. I honestly would have loved to seen Chevreuse here, or Chevreuse, however you want to say her name. I'm pretty upset that we didn't get her. Zhengling is just so out of place for this banner. But if you are a new player, she is really good and worth your time, especially since you do get her free to play, but you will get constellations for her with this, and honestly, she's really, really good with constellations. Now let's go ahead and skip to Fremine. Now, Fremine is a upgraded Tingyun, in my opinion. But that isn't saying much because, in all honesty, I don't find Tingyun fun. And to be quite honest with y'all, I don't find Fremine fun. I think Fremine is just kind of whatever. He's the brother of Lynette and Lyney that's just like, oh yeah, he's there. But he's got a kind of cool design. The fact that he does have that helmet is really cool. But yeah, in all honesty, I don't think that Fremine was the go-to. Well, I mean, it is kind of the go-to play if you're looking at it from a lore perspective. Fremine makes sense for this banner. But in all honesty, Fremine is not going to be doing much for these teams. He's basically a DPS in his own right. But he's more of a physical DPS. So, I mean, he could be physical or he could be cryo. I don't want anybody going like, but TYSTRA, he does cryo damage. Yeah, so does Eula. But I think that Eula is more of the physical DPS. I think Fremine can just go either or. So, depending on what you want to use Fremine for, it's whatever. But in my opinion, if you're going to use Fremine as a DPS, summoning on these banners is pointless for even just getting Fremine, because you're going to get a DPS Lyney or a DPS Arlecchino or Arlecchino, however you want to say her name at this point. I always say that, but Arlecchino and Lyney are already DPSs, so it makes no sense to me to have Fremine as part of the banner in that regard. But it makes sense lore-wise and character-wise for him to be a part of this banner, so it's kind of mid. It depends on what you're looking after. Now let's talk about Lynette here. Excuse me, sorry. My nose is all freaking crazy right now. Lynette is amazing, in my opinion. I love Lynette. Character-wise. And aesthetic-wise, she is insanely adorable. However, when it comes to her kit, it's still really good, but I feel as though, for me, I would still use a Sucrose over her in some cases. However, she is really cool with her E. She basically has the same thing as Yeatlon does, but instead it's only a single target. And she does help out in regards to being an Anemo character on the team. So she's got a thumbs up from me. I still need constellations of her and Femine, so for me it's a summon regardless, because 2 out of the 3 4-stars I need constellations for. But Lynette I don't think is going to be doing anything crazy for teams. But if you haven't pulled Lynette, she's really, really good in that regard. And I think that you could make her work with Father or Lyney. I've used her with Lyney and she's worked out pretty well. So Lynette gets a thumbs up from me. Let's talk about Lyney. Now, I'm going to say don't summon for Lyney. And instantly you're probably like, what, is he bad? No, he's not bad at all. I think he's actually pretty good. The fact is, though, that we're getting Arlecchino, and Arlecchino is, in my opinion, from what I've been seeing from everything, damage calcs and all that stuff, it seems like she is going to be the better DPS option than Lyney. I will even say that I still think Hu Tao is a better Pyro DPS option than Lyney, but it all depends on your playstyle. If you are a bow user, then Lyney is really fun. In regards to how he works, it's like you have to get your charges up to 5. So basically you have a counter above your head that is going to take away HP as you fire off your arrows as the second charge. And as you're losing HP when you fire those arrows, you're gaining stacks on top of Lyney. And this includes your ultimate as well. But when you use those stacks is going to be when you use your E. If you're at 5 stacks, you're going to do the maximum amount of damage, which is really fun. I've seen some crazy damage calcs with him in regards to that. I still don't think that he's out damaging other Pyro DPSs, but he's still really good and a lot of fun. So Lyney gets kind of a thumbs up, kind of a thumbs down, all because of the fact that we have Arlecchino. Must summon. I have been barking since she was even put out there. The moment I saw her in the Harbinger trailer, I was instantly in love. I love Arlecchino. She is hot. Her kit looks sick. Her idols are dope. Her burst animation is awesome. It seems as though like a lot of people are kind of like doom posting with her, but it's out there. Like, we've seen some of the stuff that she can do, and if you paid attention to leaks, you already kind of know what she's able to kind of produce out there. I think she's going to be absolutely bonkers and fun to play as. It's just in general, like, she gives the whole shebang, in my opinion, and that's what I'm here for. And that's why I think that she is a must summon. However, we do have drip marketing for Clorinde, Sejuani, and Sethos, so we don't know what they're going to be like. So there is a chance that, you know, this might be the bait, and she's just that good, and then Clorinde and Sethos and all them seem to be much more amazing. But I'm going to pretend that I'm going to pretend that they're not coming. So, should you summon on Lyney? I don't think so. Especially in contrast with Arlecchino, you're going to get a much better kind of like Pyro DPS out of Arlecchino, in my opinion. I could be absolutely wrong, but from what I've seen with like the gameplays that I've seen, it seems like Arlecchino is going to be outpacing Lyney. Should you summon on Arlecchino? Yes, 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 yes. That's just my opinion because of the fact that I really like Arlecchino, and I think that she's going to be a fun character for people to get into. Now, granted, she is going to be a little complicated with certain aspects of her kit in regards to the life essence thingy-madoodle bob. So just be careful with that if you're a new player and you don't know if this is going to be like the character you want to try as. It's the same thing when people started playing as Hu Tao and they didn't understand the whole like under 50% HP you get a damage buff and all this other stuff. So Arlecchino is going to play kind of like that, but not entirely. So be ready for that. It's going to be a very, very weird gaming experience, but I think Arlecchino is going to be one of those characters that a lot of people are going to have fun with. So overall, Arlecchino must summon, Lyney not summon, 4 stars kind of meh. You know, depending on what you need. But for me, I need Femine and I need Lynette, so I need to get them at C6. Zhengling, just stay away from my summons. I don't need the chicken of Leeway. I mean, the chef of Leeway. Favorite place is the chicken. She meant the kitchen. You know, whatever the case, whatever that line is, I don't care. But I'm excited. But I hope you are excited as well. And if you are summoning for Arlecchino, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't forget to check out GamerSupps. Use code TYSER for 10% off. And of course, that's going to be it. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.